Hello everyone, welcome to the biology online class of class 7. Students, we are continuing with chapter 1, that is nutrition in plants. We have already discussed about the different topics under this chapter. Today I will discuss about some question answer from your NCERT book. The first question is, why do organisms need to take food? Students, you have seen that all the organisms, it may be a plant or it may be an animal, require food to survive. Actually, food is needed by all organisms for many purposes. The main function of food is to help in growth. Besides this, food provides energy for movements such as running, walking, or raising our arms, or for other different activities. Food is also needed for replacement and repairing damaged parts of the body. Food gives us resistance to fight against diseases and protects us from infections. So, this is the reasons why food is need to take by all the organisms. Okay students, now our next question is, distinguish between a parasite and a saprotroph. Children, in the previous class when I have discussed about parasite and saprotroph, there you have seen that parasite, as an example of the parasite I have mentioned about the Cuscuta plant, or you can take the example of the lice, where you have seen that the organisms take their nutrition from the body of another living organisms. So we can say that parasite feeds on a living organisms, whereas when I have given the example of mushrooms as a saprotroph, there you have seen that the saprotrophs get their nutrition from dead and decaying organic material. That means we can say that saprotrophs feed on dead and decaying organisms. The organisms on which the parasite feeds is called host, whereas saprotrophs do not feed on a living organisms. I have already told you that they get their nutrition from dead or decaying organic matter. That means they do not need any host. Okay children, now I will discuss about the third question. The question number 3 is, how would you test the presence of starch in leaves? Children, you know that during the process of photosynthesis, the plant can produce glucose in leaves. This glucose then converted into starch, and in the form of starch it stores in the different parts of the plant body like leaf, fruit, root, stem, etc. The presence of starch in leaves can be tested by iodine test. Before doing the iodine test, we should remove the chlorophyll from the leaf. We can remove the chlorophyll from leaf by boiling it in alcohol. And then if we put 2 drops of iodine solution on the decolorized leaf, then its color change to blue, which indicates that the presence of starch in leaves. Children, in the previous class, I have already shared a YouTube video where you have seen the activity where the presence of starch in leaves were done. Our next question is, give a brief description of the process of synthesis of food in green plants. Green plants can make the food by the process of photosynthesis. The green plants have chlorophyll in their leaves. The leaves get carbon dioxide from air and water is absorbed by the roots and then it is transported to the leaves. So the leaves use this carbon dioxide and water to make food in presence of sunlight. Chlorophyll can absorb the sunlight and then this solar energy is utilized to make food in the form of carbohydrate from the two inorganic substances such as carbon dioxide and water. The equation of photosynthesis is carbon dioxide plus water in presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. It forms carbohydrate, that means glucose, and oxygen. Our next question is, show with the help of a sketch that the plants are the ultimate source of food. Students, in our nature, sun is the ultimate source of energy. We can get the solar energy from the sun in the form of sunlight and heat. Only the green plants can absorb this solar energy from the sunlight because they have chlorophyll in their cell. Actually, chlorophyll is a pigment which has the capacity to absorb solar energy from the sunlight. Plants can use this solar energy to make their food from the inorganic substances like carbon dioxide and water by the process of photosynthesis. In the process of photosynthesis, plants are able to make carbohydrate in the form of glucose, and then this glucose is converted into starch and other molecules like proteins or fats in the plant body. So we can say that the solar energy is converted into chemical energy in the process of photosynthesis. And this chemical energy is stored within the plant body in the form of food. When the herbivores take the plant parts as their food, then this chemical energy is transported from the green plants to the herbivores. You know that carnivores get their food from the herbivores. So, when the carnivores eat herbivore, then the food energy, or you can say the chemical energy, is transported to the body of the carnivores. So in that way the food energy is transferred from the green plants to herbivores and then carnivores. The excretory product of green plants or herbivores or carnivores, or after their death, the dead body parts of these organisms come to the soil. In the soil, there are many bacteria and fungi are present which are known as decomposers. These decomposers get their nutrients from the dead or decaying organic part of the green plants, herbivores and carnivores, and they can get their energy from those dead or decaying organic matter, where the energy is stored in the form of chemical energy. So children, what we can say, that the green plant is the ultimate source of food for all the organisms. It may be herbivore, it may be carnivore, or a decomposer. So children, today this much. You have to write down all these question answer in your biology copy and learn them. Thank you children. Stay safe and happy. We will meet in the next class.